Salespeople, sales leaders, and senior executives. Mike Weinberg with you. Welcome back. I've got a great post for you here today. And you know that several times a year, I am more than happy to point you to other people's books or fresh content that I think will bring you value and you'll benefit from. In this case, the book I want to tell you about is so powerful, so different, and so important. And my relationship with this author is so meaningful to me that I wanted you to actually see my face and hear my voice as I strongly recommend it to you. I am good friends with Anthony Iannarino. Most of you probably know and follow him. I think he's probably the smartest guy in our business today. I met Anthony 7 or so years ago as I was wrapping up my time leading a sales team at the last company where I worked for someone else. I was just getting involved on Twitter and playing around in the sales blogosphere and about to launch my own blog, and I found Anthony and I started reading his posts and could not believe how much I resonated with just his view of sales and his sales philosophy, and struck up a friendship with him. And in fact, I was getting so much value from his content that I had him come in to my last company and do some sales training. Well, fast forward a year from then, and I was out on my own and doing consulting and getting some following, and I ended up with my first book deal for New Sales Simplified. And I thought so much of Anthony and had so much respect for his blog and his following that I asked him to write the foreword to New Sales Simplified. And those of you that know us know that for the last 5 years, he's trying to take all the credit for the outrageous success of that book because he wrote the foreword. And he loves to joke that he's one of the very few people on the planet who actually wrote the foreword to a best-selling book before he had his own book. So I'll give him that, and I appreciate all of his support. Well, we're good friends, and I've written this before. He's the first guy I go to when I need sales help. When I've got a question about a challenging sales issue that I'm experiencing at someone I'm trying to help with an executive or a sales team, I go to Anthony. In fact, I've even brought him in to a handful of my clients because I was convinced they needed his help in an area that wasn't necessarily my expertise. So we're good friends, and I was honored just a year or so ago when he asked me to write the foreword to his first book, the only, terrible title, the only sales guide you'll ever need. And this book went on to be a tremendous success. It's only been out like 10 months. It's a USA Today bestseller. We all love the book. It's incredibly valuable. The problem we have is with the title. And I'm going to encourage you to link over to Anthony's launch site for his new book, where you'll see some of his friends, including me and Gerhard Schwantner and Mark Hunter, making fun of Anthony. Because what's wrong is not only was that title arrogant and frankly inappropriate, but when Anthony wrote that book, he already had a 2-book deal. His publisher knew another book was coming out, and yet they let themselves and him name this book The Only Sales Guide. So we take some issue with that, and you can watch on the video where we make fun of it. Anthony's new book that's launching any day now is called The Lost Art of Closing. And I'm not even going to attempt to do it justice or outline the book for you. Here's all I'm going to say. Anthony, in an incredibly deep, smart, practical, powerful way, dives in and shows you the 10 commitments you need to get from customers along the way to make a sale. It's the commitments that you need to gain so that you can bring value and you can help your customers. And he loves to make fun of stupid closing techniques, because closing isn't what we think it is. Normally when I get asked from a salesperson, I need help with closing, my automatic response is, yeah, maybe you need help with closing. But typically when a deal goes dark or we get stuck and we can't close something, it's because we screwed up earlier on in the sales process and we need to retrace our steps and see what happened. Well, Anthony loves to make fun of the dumb closing techniques that are named after dead people and other stuff. And you'll see there's not a gimmick in this book, but man, it's powerful. So what I want you to do is head over to Anthony's site right now. I'm providing a link for you here below, and watch the videos. That's all I'm going to tell you. Listen to him explain why he wrote this book, why it's important, and how it's going to help you. Here's my prediction. The Lost Art of Closing is going to outsell his first book by a factor of 2 or 3 to 1. It is going to be an outrageous bestseller. We're probably going to see it on some big lists. He's putting a ton of effort into launching this book. I want you to get a copy before your competitor does. Okay? People are going to read this book, and it is going to revolutionize their boldness and their vision of what they need to do along the sales process to gain commitments from customers. And I'm going to leave it at that. Head over to Anthony's site, check out the video, and I'd love to get your feedback after you read the book. Thanks so much, and I wish you guys great selling.